for his life, or else thou shalt pay a talent of silver. And as thy servant was busy here and there, he was gone. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now I need y'all to pay attention to this, because we are all guilty of this. I want to talk on this thought, too busy to make time for God. Amen. Too busy to make time for God. Many of us have used this term, I don't have time. Have you ever said that? How many of you ever said, I simply don't have time? Most of us at one time or another have said something like, I'm running out of time, or we don't have time for that right now, or how much time will it take? We are a very impatient people. We have busy schedules filled with activity that at the time seemed so important. We are so busy that we never seem to have enough time for God. You know that you are in this state or this type of person when you find yourself saying that I simply want it now. Do we have any I want it now people in here? You ain't got time to wait. You want your stuff right now. And man, you don't want to wait for nothing. You want whatever you want it right now. But I think you need to tell your neighbor that in order to have something good, you got to wait on it. Amen. Tell your neighbor that. Don't say it to me. I know it. Amen. You scared of your neighbor? Your neighbor is the person sitting next to you. Amen. You need to help them to understand that if you want something good, you got to wait on it. Amen. This quick fix stuff is not going to get the job done. You see, we have been inundated with a long list of time-saving devices that instead of saving us time have given us less time for quality. We don't get quality anymore. We want people to hurry up and do stuff. You even take your car to the shop and call the mechanic and get mad talking about he's taking too long. And then the man hurry up and give you your car back and it's not fixed. Then you want to cuss him out. Isn't that right? And I ain't crazy. I know some of y'all cuss when you think things ain't going your way. You ain't fooling me. Amen. You got quiet on that one. We have been reared on 30-second TV commercials and 30-minute sitcoms and 60-minute dramas. We want high-speed internet access and can't stand to wait even a second to view the website. We spend our lives in a series of can't wait situations. When we were young, we couldn't wait to go to kindergarten. Some of y'all didn't want to go to school at all. And then we couldn't wait to get out of school. Then we couldn't wait to fall in love and get married. Then we couldn't wait to get divorced. Then we couldn't wait to have kids. Then as parents, we couldn't wait for the kids to go off to school. And then we couldn't wait for them to graduate. Have you ever noticed that the more expensive the restaurant is, the longer you have to wait? Oh yeah, there are actually 5, count them up, 5 different waits you must endure. Amen? Look, first of all, at a restaurant, an expensive restaurant, you have to wait to get a seat. That's the first one. Then you got to wait to get a menu. All right, that's number 2. Then you got to wait to order. That's number 3. Then you have to wait for the food. That's 4. And then you have to wait for the check. Isn't that right? That's 5, whether you notice it or not. what you go to somewhere where it's expensive, you're going to have the 5-step program. And then they have the audacity to call the person that serves you the waiter, when it's you that's actually doing the waiting. Is that right? See, we just don't have enough time. We ride the elevator to save time, but then we get impatient with the elevator. Because then the elevator is moving too slow. But you ain't finna run up them stairs, but you want to complain about the elevator moving too slow. And have you ever watched the people on the elevator? After they push the button, some people are what we call swayers. Amen. In other words, they sway back and forth. Amen. And then there's others that are known as bouncers. They bounce up and down while waiting for the elevator. And then there are what we call pushers. They are those who keep pushing the buttons as if it's going to speed the elevator up. But sometimes our hurry up attitude, it affects other people. And then consider the story of this woman who was upset because she and her husband's dream vacation was interrupted by a trip to the dentist. She had shopping to do, places to go, things to do, and the dentist's office was not on her list. Amen. She got there and told the dentist, walked in and said, look, I want a tooth pulled, and I don't want Novocaine because I'm in a big hurry. She said, just take the tooth out as quickly as possible and we'll be on our way. The dentist stood back quite impressed, said, that might be a little painful. Then the dentist said, let me see your tooth, and the woman stepped back and said, honey, show him your tooth. You see, it wasn't her tooth she was talking about, she was talking about her husband. But she didn't have time to wait on him. So she said, just go and take it out because I ain't got enough time to be dealing with this stuff. And when we say we don't have time, does that include for God? Unfortunately, for many people, prayer, worship, Bible study, and ministry building activities are not included in their personal priority list. Amen, because they simply take too much time. Can I get a witness? God gets second place, depending on the day of the week. Sometimes God gets no place at all. He falls somewhere behind the beauty shop and the television. And as Christians, we recognize that we have a responsibility to exercise stewardship over our time, our talent, and our resources. And since all of our time belongs to God, oh, I wish I had a witness on that. Since all of our time belongs to God, how can we say we don't have enough time to serve God? Oh, that's what got Israel in trouble down through our Sunday school, down through the Bible. They didn't have enough time to serve God. But like many of you, they didn't have enough time to serve him, but they always wanted him to do something for them. Oh yeah, we got to wake up. God is not somebody we can just put off on the shelf. And then when we feel like we're in trouble, we run to him, God, have mercy on me. The Bible tells us we are to seek the Lord while he yet can be found. Because there's going to come a time when you're going to seek him and you won't be able to find him. And I don't know about you, I pray to God that I'll never run across that day when I go to seek the Lord and he's nowhere to be found. You see, I'm too used to him being there. Hey man, when I call on him, you know, when you're used to somebody being there all the time, and then all of a sudden they're not there anymore, that messes up your life, don't it? Hey man, when you know you can always depend on this person person to be there to do good. You can trust them. And then all of a sudden you call for them and they are there no more. How it's going to be for those that want to play around with God. This text considers an illustration about what happens when we are so busy going here and there that we neglect God. The story was given by a prophet to King Ahab. After the king had disobeyed a command of God to destroy the Assyrian army and his king. Amen. The prophet gives the king a story to pronounce God's judgment. A servant went into battle and was given a man to guard, and he was told that if the man is lost, then the servant will lose his life. In other words, if something happens to this man, then we're going to take your life in place of this man.